I'm Deborah Bell, and I wrote The Adventures of Debbie's Dad. This was published in November 2022, and it's a children's picture book aimed at 5 to 8 year olds, and it's all about the adventures of one little girl and her dad. Once I finished writing my story, I felt really excited at the prospect of publishing it, but I also felt equally scared. I was first attracted to using talk publishing because of the independence that you are given and the creative control around your story. So prior to getting in touch with the team, I had several offers from publishers who would offer a hybrid package, and I just felt that I wouldn't necessarily have the complete control of my story, and that was something that was really precious to me. So talk allowed me to have that, and they also guided me through every single step of the publishing journey, which was absolutely ideal for someone like myself who'd never experienced anything like this before, was a little bit fearful, and they couldn't have been more supportive from the word go. Working with the book team was a joy from start to finish. So from my initial meeting with Estelle and chatting through the story and what I'd hoped to achieve with it, to meeting my illustrator and the creative team who pulled the book all together, they couldn't have been more helpful, supportive, encouraging. They offered so much advice around ways to make small improvements to the story without jeopardising sort of the originality of it and the fact that it was my work. They weren't there to change anything drastically, but they did offer some suggestions based on their experience. And everybody was just so friendly. They understood where I was coming from, and I guess the main thing that they got how precious the story was to me as well. This is a particularly personal piece, and they understood how I wanted to protect that. One thing I didn't expect from the publishing experience was how informal it was, and I don't mean in saying that to sort of diminish the professional outfit that it is. I was just expecting it to be very formal, sort of business meetings, very structured, very and it wasn't like that at all. The experience I had was that it was a chat. It was a chat with the publishing team, it was a chat with the illustrator, and it was all about extracting all of my ideas, all my thoughts, my hopes, my wishes, my fears. And it was all done over Zoom and like face to face as it could be. And it was just a really comfortable experience, and I knew they were going to be the ones who would support me through the publishing journey and kind of take me under their wing and protect my work as well. When my book was published, I can't describe the feeling that I had. Every stage of the journey, I obviously was able to see the book come together. I saw all the first drafts of the illustrations. I was heavily involved in deciding on the fonts of the book, how it was going to look, what the front cover looked like. So to see the final book was going to be no surprise, as I've been involved the whole journey. But it was nothing that I was really prepared for, because seeing it all on email and through that journey, it's not the same as when you've actually got a copy of the book in your hand. And the pride I felt and the joy and the elation of finally having my book in print was just something that I can't really describe, and I'm actually getting a little bit teary because it was just something I'd always wanted to achieve, and I'd done it with the support of some fantastic people. It was the best experience ever. For me, from the word go, Talk Publishing have been the pillar of support to me as a new author who was incredibly naive when starting this journey. They were always available to me, whether it be email, phone. Nothing was a problem. Any question I could ask, I was never made to feel silly about asking any questions. They were really good at getting into my head and extracting all of the detail that was so important to make my story as I wanted it. And I think I would just want to say a massive thank you to Estelle and the team for being able to support me and ultimately publish a book that has meant so much to me. My book was a very personal piece around a story about me and my own dad, and I wanted to do this as a legacy for my little boy who loves reading So the idea that in years to come, you know, mum wrote a book and granddad was in it, and so on through the generations, they really understood that, how important that was to me. And they did everything they could to make sure I was happy with the finished product. And I think you'd agree, it's really special and it's really good. And hats off to the illustrator as well, Lisa, who was just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, thank you, Talk Publishing.